Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 9th. Just got out of the shower, so hair's still a little wet. But I wanted to plop down and get a video going. I did record a whole video last night, and then when I was trying to edit it, I realized I said way too many times, and I strive really hard not to speak like that, so I'm not sure what was going on last night. So I decided to re-record the whole thing today. But knowing that I've already recorded this once, I have quite a bit to talk about today. So we best get to it. I have for you, or to show you, I guess, I have one finished object, I have one fake finished object, and then I have 2 whip updates. I believe that's all I have going on. And then I do want to talk about quite a few purchases I've made that I'm super excited about. And I received all of my yarn subscriptions, so I wanted to show you guys those too, because why not, right? They're exciting and I love them. So let's do it. We'll start with finished object first, right? I guess that's what people do. I finished my daily socks, which is a pattern by Summerlee Knits. And I was using my Farmer's Daughter Fibers July Sock Squad colorway. So that's how these turned out. I really like them a lot. They were super easy repeat. But I will start off by saying I had issues with almost all of my projects I'm going to talk about today. I don't know. I always just make mistakes with my projects, and I rarely can start one and work it all the way through. I don't know. I'm very careful when I read patterns and instructions and all of these things. There is some innate mistake waiting to get out. I don't know. I used to get really frustrated about it, and now I just kind of have to laugh at myself because it's just, I don't know why it happens. If I knew, I'd fix it. So the mistake story with these is these are done on a US 2. The ribbing's on a US 1, but the rest of it's on a US 2, and I only use US 1s previously. So I did purchase DPNs in US 2. I started doing them, and again, the pattern is super easy, 4-row repeat. But I was losing track of, there's just 2 rows that are, it doesn't matter. I don't want to give the pattern away, but there's 2 rows that are where you have to pay attention. And I was getting myself confused for some reason, or counting wrong or something as to where I was in what row. So I realized that I had made a mistake. So I ripped back once to fix that row, but I had trouble counting backwards as to like where I should put my needles back in. I don't know what my problem was, honestly. So I finally did that. I ripped back. I started going again. And then when I was going again, I realized that where there's some yarn overs, they were ending at the ends of my needles. And it was creating this really weird like gauge issue. Like I couldn't figure out if I needed to do it tighter, looser, or what my problem was. And I'll insert a picture. Some people might not be able to see it. I'm sure like a trained knitter or somebody, it would be very obvious. It was obvious to me. I'm not any kind of expert knitter, but I think because it's my project. I knew it would drive me crazy. So I put them down for a minute, and I ended up ordering ChowGoo 9-inch circulars in US 2 because I'd only have that issue then like once instead of at all 4 corners of the DPNs. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to order 1, let's just order 2 and try to work them together or at the same time or whatnot. So that's what I did. And I'm super happy I did. I feel like I was able to knit them a lot faster. I know that that's not really a thing because you still knit at the speed you knit, but it made me feel like they were getting worked up faster, and I didn't have that second sock syndrome going to work the second one. So I'm really glad I did that, and I think I'm going to try to do that with my socks from now on, work them 2 at a time, because I have 2 US 2 needles, and I have always had US ones, the 9-inch magic, or the 9-inch loop and the DPN. So I think I'm going to start doing that from now on and seeing if I can maybe work socks through a little bit faster. And yeah, but anyway, so I really, really like them. They're super soft and squishy. Oh, there's a good little thing of the pattern there. They were really, really nice, and I think the only real reason I was able to get them done is I had to take my son to the emergency room on Sunday. I'm not laughing, it's not funny. On Sunday, because he fell off of his bike the day before, so he broke his wrist. So we were there for quite a while with x-rays and getting everything wrapped, and then repeat x-rays, and we were just there a lot. So I got to take my knitting, and I finished these socks. I was really mad though, because security did confiscate my other sock project bag that I had, because so these ran magic loops, not magic loops. I don't do magic loops, 9-inch circulars, but my other ones had the DPNs in the bag, and apparently the DPNs were too pointy and could cause a security risk. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not going to be disrespectful. It was annoying. It was annoying, but luckily I didn't need them. I was just worried. Whenever you go to the ED, you literally just have no idea how long you're going to be there, right? So I was worried that I would finish these and not have anything to do. God forbid, right? But finish these just in the nick of time. So weaving in ends as we were getting our discharge paperwork. So it worked out great. And then I did snag my bag back, obviously, from security afterwards. Anywho, so that's my finished objects. And then let's talk about my outline tee by Jessie Maed next, because that was another huge issued whip for me. So I have the body done. I ended up doing the body about 9 inches. I did not prefer it to be as cropped as the pattern was originally written. So here are my 9 inches, and this one green marker right down here, that's where I was at the last video. So I got that done. So many unfortunates with this. So when I was I had knit a few inches past this bulb marker where I was last time, and I had realized that I somehow picked up an extra stitch. So I was like, okay. So I took the stitch off the needle and, just like let it fall back, and I was hoping that I could like shimmy the fabric around. Nope. It was too deep in, and it was creating these huge gaps that could not be. So I ripped this one back. And then of course when you're putting your needle through, I ended up picking up a few stitches from the wrong row, so it just took me a really long time to actually get it all even, rip it all back, and then rework all those inches I had lost, because I ended up having to go like below the bulb marker because I just really mucked it up. So I did all that, got it right, got the body done, and then I put it down because now I'm terrified to knit on it. My gauge is very different, as a lot of people's are, but my gauge is very different when I'm working the round versus working back and forth. And I just didn't want to deal with like making another mistake or having things be off. So I put it down for a really long time. But then just a few days ago, after I finished my socks, I was like, I have to get this done. So just as a reminder, I am using the Lindy chain fingering weight from Knit Picks in the colorway Rouge. It's not focusing. There we go. And I also think part of why I put it down too is I'm not a super fan of this yarn. I'm having issues just with it. I'm like snagging and stuff as I'm knitting. So to be determined my final thoughts on that, but that was also another downer, which is also probably why I put it down for so long. So I did actually, after I recorded the same video last night, I took it, I started to work on it a little bit. So I'm now splitting the front and the back and, for the arms. So I sized down a needle like Jessie recommends some of her pattern testers how to do. I sized down, so the body is on a US 5, so I sized down to a 4, and I started doing it. And it's wrong. It doesn't look good. My gauge is off. And so then I kept going just to play around a little bit. I was like, maybe I just need to pay more attention, keep my needle tips closer together, just being more mindful as I'm knitting it instead of it just being a, knitting and watching TV kind of casual thing. So I started to do that a little bit too, but the rows, I don't know how to do it. I just don't. I ripped it back. I only had I think like 4 rows going on the front, and I knew it would drive me crazy if I kept going and left the larger gauge how it was working up. So I'm back to being frustrated. I think just bottom up garments are not for me right now. I don't have a smaller interchangeable needle. My needle set only goes down to a 4, so I don't even have a 3 to So I think I just need to put it away for a little bit. I have other ones that I want to work on it too, so my worry is that if I put it away, I won't get it back out and I'll just end up frogging it. So I don't really know what to do about it. It's gonna not go away. It's just gonna not be worked on right now, I think. Because I don't know. Maybe I need to just order smaller needles and try it on that. It's just so weird. It's so weird how it's different. I mean, I understand why, but it's just frustrating. So that's probably going away for a little bit. And then, my other whip update is I'm super excited. I got all caught up on my previous months of row 1 subscriptions for my jelly roll blanket. And I finished it, and then it was so funny that the next day my August came in. So I was like, yes, I did it. Because I do really want to start working those up in the month that I got them. Although now it's already August 9th, and I just opened my row 1 yesterday. So I don't know, but it's fine. So I'm going to show this to you, and then I think I'm going to stop showing it every video and I'll just show it after I finish each month, because these are hard to see and you don't really you can't get the full picture of it. So I have 4.5 rows done. I did talk last time that I wanted to weave in all of my ends before adding another row in, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I will share why it didn't happen in a moment in case anybody cares. But so this is the top. So we're going top down here. Oh boy, sorry, this is not. Hopefully that's all on screen. And that's that. So yeah, it's still super random. I am liking a little bit more as I'm working it more. I mean, I love the pattern. The colors are a little anyway, if you've watched other videos, you know how I feel about it. But it is so nice that it's starting to be squishy, and I can hold it up to me and I can kind of start to see not the end in sight, because I probably still want to add about 5.5 more rows, if not more. I'd really like it to be cozy, but it's just, I am very much enjoying it. It's a great mindless knit. It is fun to change color so often, so I do love that so much. And then I think I had talked, last time, I'm definitely going to make another jelly roll that might just be kind of like a chronic ongoing project, but I really want to do a fade set, and I love, I don't know if you have ever looked at Hue Loco Yarn, Hueloco. But she has some fantastic fade sets. They just always get snapped up so fast, and I really want her DK fade set, because that's what that blanket is, and I like the squishiness of it. I don't want like a fingering weight one. But anyway, so that's what I have my eye on, but I'm not going to buy it at all anytime soon, because I want to see how big I actually end up working this jelly roll up, so that I know exactly how much to get. So those are finished object, current whips. Let's talk now about my fake finished object, because that was a bummer. It is, so I started the Bradley Afghan by Toni from TL Yarn Crafts. I had no intentions of starting this project anytime soon. In a couple videos ago, I had shown, I did purchase Hue and Me yarn from Lion Brand. They were having a sale, so I did buy her kit, and then I bought yarn to make the sampler striped blanket by Mama in a Stitch. And again, I wanted the yarn because it was on sale. It was being tucked away. Well, the reason that I started it, and I don't share a lot of personal things on here, not for any reason, I just don't want to blab about my life if people don't really care, but my mom passed away July 29th, so a little less than 2 weeks ago. Sorry. So it was expected, it was anticipated. She had fortunately been with hospice for the last month, who were wonderful and really helped keep her comfortable during this last transition of her life. So she passed away very late on a Friday night, and Saturday morning, or Saturday when I was, I just, you don't know how to go through grief. Like it's different for everybody. It's different for any person you lose. Fortunately, we haven't lost a lot of family members, so I have not really had to deal with it at this level. So I've just felt very lost. Well, I still feel very lost, but I felt very lost. And my mom is the one that taught me how to crochet a million years ago when I was a kid. And so I decided to pick up the pattern, the Bradley Afghan, and work on that, because it's a crochet pattern, and it just in the moment made me feel very close to my mom. So I had a very cathartic, sad, crying, joyous time knitting it. It's a wonderful pattern, and I actually could not believe I finished it in 2 days. It's just like, I don't know. I haven't crocheted in a really long time, so I was just like, holy cow, like, does all crochet finish this fast? Did I forget how fast crochet is? And it was great. So I finished that. So I was going to weave in the ends, and I realized my gauge was so far off that I could only laugh, honestly. I finished a blanket at the complete wrong gauge. And normally, well, not normally for me, but for other people, they'd be like, whatever. But it's like hugely different than what it's supposed to be. So I have to take it all out. And I should have realized, well, one, I should have obviously measured as I was going, I guess. But I also should have realized, because the picture of the pattern is just loose, and my fabric was very tight and stiff. It should have been included me. I literally just lost my mom, so I just wasn't in any headspace to think anything was wrong, except just going with it. I don't know. I know I'm not making sense. So I'll put a picture up, obviously, of the pattern and what it's supposed to look like. For reference, the completed pattern, and I wrote it down so I'd remember, the completed pattern is supposed to be 50 inches long, okay? 50 long by 45 inches wide. That's a nice size. It's an Afghan. It's a nice size Afghan, right? Mine was 40 inches long, so 10 whole inches shorter. 37 inches wide. Almost 10 inches more narrow. It doesn't even cover my youngest son, who's 7. It's just, it's a joke, right? It's like it's a total joke. So let me show you, because I didn't have the heart to rip it out until I showed you guys, because it is really, which way to go? It is really a beautiful, I love the colors. I love the pattern. I love it, and I can't wait to actually remake it. So that's also was another motivating factor to get this video posted, because I want to rip it out and actually crochet it properly. So this is it. It's just so pretty. And I really, really love the colors. Again, I did talk about this before, so I won't be crazy about it, but it was a whole kit. So I bought the kit, but the blue or gray, I can't remember, that was in the original kit was sold out. So I did have to substitute that. So this blue that I use, it's called Harbor. And it's a really nice, it's like a dirty, dusky blue. And then this middle color here is Desert. It is a beige neutral, but it does have a bit more pink to it. And then this is called Bellini, and it's just a really nice, dusty, pinky, I don't want to say orange, but the pattern was written so well, and I really do love it, and I want it to be a blanket, an actual Afghan, not some weird sized baby blanket. So that was hilarious. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. I'm upset, but I can't be that upset because I worked it up so fast. So it's not that much time wasted, and I did very much enjoy making it. So maybe I'll double enjoy making it this time. I don't know. But yeah, so it's been a really rough 2 weeks. Like, life has been hard. So I have been finding a lot of solace, comfort in my yarn crafts. I don't know how do you get through it, you know? I don't know. You always hear about grief and all the stages and how hard it is, but it's really heavy when you're in it. Anyway, sorry about that. I did go a bit crazy buying stuff, but it's gonna be okay. So Andrea Mari had a huge, sorry, I hate when people do that, but it's early and I have not had like my coffee. It doesn't matter. Andrea Mari was having a huge birthday sale on her patterns, and so I have no intentions of doing any of these anytime soon. I don't think anyway, but I wanted to have them in my library of options. So I did get her Spark cardigan, which I have been obsessed with for a really long time. The all over color work scares me, but I love that it has like a little tie belt, and I'm almost positive it has a folded collar, which I loved too. So I got that, and then I also got her Throwback cardigan, because okay, I don't know if it's like the color she used or what, but I'm full on obsessed with that. So that might be something I try to do this winter. We'll see. And then I also got her Junction sweater. I thought it's color work. It's just like a little bit of color work in the yoke. I haven't tried color work with anything yet, but I do have a few things in my library to do and some yarn for them. So I just liked the small details, I guess, of the color work. And again, I know that it's all in the colors you choose to, so we'll see. And then I bought the Birch Pullover and the Gib sweater. They just seemed like some nice basic sweaters to have in my library for future use. I did get 2 of her shawls. I got the Winter Honey shawl and the Everyday shawl. I think that I want to be a shawl person. I think. So I only have, not only, I don't mean only, I have knit 2 shawls. One is this behind me right here. This is I think it's called the Traveler Shawl by Espasi Trico. Is that how you say it? And I like it, but it's very long, it's very big, and it's there's no buts. It's just not appropriate for all the time. And plus the colors, I did it in a rainbow colored yarn, and it just limits like what I can use it for. So I'd really like just a few neutral shawls, beige or camel color, or maybe like a light minky brown kind of color. So those are my maybe potential plans for that. I'm just kind of babbling. And then also Jessica from Mama in a Stitch was having a blanket pattern sale. I had already bought yarn for her sampler striped blanket, so I did purchase that pattern. And then I got her, it's called Knit Woven Look Blanket. I fell in love with that when she first like put it out. So I just snatched that. And then I did get another crochet blanket since I was loving working the Bradley Afghan. I got the Alpenhaus, I hope I said that right, blanket. So I just, you know, I don't mind using the free patterns that people put up on their blogs. I'm overly appreciative of all of that, but it is just nice to sometimes have the ad-free versions, and they were on sale, and it's, I guess, my way of trying to support. So I did that, and I'm super excited to have, I like having blanket patterns in stash, just for gifts and stuff like that too. I really like gifting blankets. So those are the patterns. And then, well, every video I say I'm not going to buy any more yarn, but I did. But I feel like I'm just going to use the excuse that my mom just passed away, and buying yarn made me feel really good. So I don't know. I feel like I'm allowed to use that excuse for a little while. My aunt says I'm allowed to use it for a year, but my husband said I'm only allowed to use that excuse with him for about 3 months. This is not a laughing matter. Like, I assure you, I am not joking at all about my mom's passing. It has been something that has been coming for a very long time. So we were able to like pre-deal with it. Now we're post-dealing with it, going through it. I don't want to offend anybody. Everybody deals with death so differently. And she was my mom. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I did buy Polka Dot Creek is a yarn dyer in Canada, and I purchased from them before. And I bought 3 sock sets from them. They had put on Instagram that they brought back a colorway from last year, maybe, called the Bee's Knees, and oh god, it was just really pretty. And then I'd also been perusing and looking at their other sock set called Loose Chain, which is like a nice gray with some speckles. So I snagged both of those, and then I did get one of their, it's not a kit, but one of their things that come like with a project bag. And so I did get one of those too. It's just a really cute bee print bag with a sock set. So I did get those. I think I also just got like super motivated with how quickly my daily socks were working up when I was doing them 2 at a time. That, I don't know, Lord knows I don't need any more sock yarn, but here it comes. And then I got an email from Yarnable. She's doing a collab with Carrie from the Spinning Hand and a few other people. I apologize, I don't remember their names, but it's called the Electric Fairy Club collab. And I will try, I think there should still be a picture up of the yarn. It's just was like, the yarn is what got me. It's just a beautiful colorway. And then the collaboration includes a pattern, project bag, and a stitch marker, and the yarn from Yarnable. So I'm super excited about that. And it was like $60. I'm not sure what people feel about that price point. I was very happy with it for everything I was getting. And I like collaborations like that. And I think it's fun to all be working on the same pattern at the same time. And they're going to have a special like little Facebook group. And I don't know, I like being a part of that every once in a while. The super nice thing about that one is it's not getting shipped until November. So let's be honest, I'll literally forget about it anyway, and it'll be like a big old surprise. I talked myself, well, I didn't need to talk myself into that one, but I said that one was okay to buy because it's coming in November and my birthday is at the end of October. So it was like a little birthday gift to myself. And who's going to say nay to me anyway? It's not your money, it's my money. I know nobody really cares. I don't know why everybody, myself obviously included, always feel the need to have to explain our purchases and our projects and all that kind of stuff to other people. I need to work on that. So now onto the super fun of all my subscriptions. I also want to acknowledge my subscriptions are too much. And I'm going to start whittling them away and canceling some because I don't think I like the mystery of yarn subscriptions. I am a little odd about colors. I don't love all colors. So I'm not sure. But I think I would rather just be able to go and pick, still buy from some of these people, but just be able to go and pick the yarn myself versus having something come in monthly. Plus the stage I'm at with all the yarn I'm at, with all the projects I have in queue and things, it just doesn't make sense to still have yarn coming in if it doesn't have full intentions. I mean, I know I said I just bought sock sets from Polka Dot Creek, but sock yarn is a little, that'll always get worked up, but just some of this other stuff, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna stop talking about it and I'm just gonna show you. We will start first with this is my first month getting Freckled Whimsy sock set. So that was really fun. This colorway is called Squeeze the Day on her Serendipity sock base, and it's such pretty, it just like reminds me full on of summer. I'm sorry, I don't know how to focus things, but it just has pretty blues, greens, oranges, pinks, and then this fun like construction cone orange almost. I feel like my youngest will really, really like this. So I love this yarn. It's very soft and squishy, but I will say, like, this is one of the things I don't like about the mystery sock sets is like I don't think I would personally wear this colorway, but that doesn't mean I can't knit it up for a friend, for my son, for whomever. So I'm ambivalent about this subscription. I've been so excited to try Freckled Whimsy because I look at her site a lot and want to purchase a lot of her colorways. But you know, this I was just kind of like, it won't be for me. So that was just like a little bit of a bummer. But again, it's me. Like, not everybody's gonna love every color, and somebody that I know will love this colorway. Like, they will. I know they will. So won't be for me, but will be for somebody else at some point. So there we go. And then this is also the first month that I was able to get a Yarnable subscription. I have gotten emails before, but I've just always missed out on the slots. So it comes with a bunch of little goodies too. I'm not going to share those, but the theme this month was sunflowers. So her subscription has a few different options that you can buy. I got the 100-gram and 50-gram contrasting colorway. I just wasn't sure like what I was going to do with it. So anyway, I don't know. I don't remember my exact thought process while I was buying it, but that's what I got. So every month, or as long as I'm going to be keeping it, I'll get a 100-gram and a 50-gram along with her other little goodies that she sends from other, little makers. So this one is called Grow with the Flow. And again, it's sunflower based, and she totally nailed it. These like colors in here are so pretty. There's browns, greens, some really pretty yellows. It's super pretty. So I'm excited to see how these work up, and I do actually like that there's so much neutral like beige in it too. I just think that'll be so pretty. And then the colorway is, the contrast colorway is called Potting Soil, which is hilarious. I just think that's funny. And it's just some browns, some really nice little browns in there. So not sure what I'm going to do with these yet. Not sure if they're going to be, I assume they're going to be socks, but we'll see. But those are fun. And they are super, super squishy. Like super squishy. It's so weird how different fingering weights seem different. Like they're, like some are just so much more squishy, but maybe it's just like the size of the hank. I don't know. And then next we'll do my Farmer's Daughter fibers. This is a Sock Squad subscription that I've been doing this whole year. This month, and it is based off of the Yucca and the Yucca Moth. So this is what the colorways are based off of. And a little bit funny because it is a smidge like my Yarnable, smidge. So this is on her, on their Rocky Mountain Pearls. It's an 80% superwash PFL, 20% nylon HT. Does HT mean high twist? I don't remember seeing that on anything else. Anyway, this is it with her contrasting color. I want you to be able to see these speckles. They're really pretty. Here, maybe this will be better. They're browns and greens and, oh man, they're really pretty. And then this is like just a really light mint almost. It's not mint. It's kind of minty green. So these are really pretty. And, I do like these. I do like these a lot. This is a little more neutral, a little more my style. So these I am going to keep and make for myself. I don't know what pattern to use though. I do have a lot of sock patterns in my library. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those yet. I think with the Freckled Whimsy though, I think I will do the, I don't ever say this right, but it's K, the Crazy Sock Lady. It's not Tosi-Do, Dosi-Do, Toe. It's a really pretty zigzag. So I think with self-striping yarn, I think that would be like really fun to have that. So I'm going to do that. And then I have my row ones for my jelly roll. And these come from ThatDarnHen Maeds. Heather is a dyer in Spring, Texas. Oh, and this is so lovely. She gives 5% of her profits. She donates it to charities. That's really nice. So I do really, really like these ones as well. Let me try to gather them as best as I can. They're really, really pretty. I know I've said before, but I do enjoy getting the row ones. It just opens you up to seeing so many dyers. And then if you love some of them, is this coming up okay? If you love them, you can find them and buy from them. So I do really like hers. I'm really excited to get these in the jelly roll. My jelly roll blanket. Okay, one last subscription. I don't think I realized that I have 5 monthly subscriptions, which it's just not necessary. I also feel, not to keep talking about my mom, oh my gosh, but I do feel like her passing has kind of helped reprioritize my little brain about what I need to get in order and do so that my kids don't have to deal with certain things when I pass away or when my husband passes away, obviously, hopefully in a really, really long time. But I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I think just that I need to reprioritize my yarn buying, I think. So this is my Darn Good yarn subscription, and this is their Twist Sport Weight silk yarn. The colorway is Wild Fields, and very spring summery. It's lime greens. It's a pinky purple. I guess that would be a mauve, and a neutral in there. I am canceling this subscription. I have been, I don't know how to say it. There has not been a variety of yarn, only colors, and that's been very frustrating for me. Now, this yarn subscription is, I think, the least expensive. You get 3 of these, which these are 50-gram cakes. You get 3 of these for $30, I think. So this is the third one in a row that I've got. It's the exact same yarn, just a different colorway. And to me, that's not fun. Like, Darn Good Yarn has billions of different yarns and different options. So it's just not for me, and that's okay. But the first one I got, and I actually brought them all over to show you guys because I'm not making this up. So so let's back up for a second. Okay, so again, this was this month. This was Wildflowers. This one was Tropical Jungle. This is what I got last month. So see, it's the same. And then this is the one I got the month before that. This one was called Pomegranate Fizz. Again, it's the, I don't have to prove it to you. It's literally called the same yarn. It's their Twisted Sport. So this I did use to make my tip top tank from Maker's Maker. I hope I'm saying that right. It's nothing against the yarn. I liked it. It was nice to work up. It was easy. It's, you know, but I just don't want it. I just don't want to keep getting the same exact yarn in different colors, which I guess you could argue that is what you're doing with any of these, right? Like it's all the same yarn, just different colorways. But I just, okay, here, let me back up again. And just, okay, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th month I've gotten it. This is the yarn I got the 1st month. Okay, so see how this is like obviously clearly different. This is a lace weight silk yarn. So that's just what I thought. I thought that this was going to be like some of this sometime, and then some of this sometime, and then like some of something else sometime. Like I just thought it was going to be different. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if anything I'm saying these days makes sense. So I'm going to cancel the subscription because I definitely don't want any more cakes of this. It's not that I won't eventually find something to do with it. I'm just not like inspired to do anything with it, I guess. So I'll find projects for those. I'll probably end up, honestly, maybe making some more tank tops with them. Because I do like my tip top tank. I did actually wear it out. And it was nice. And it is nice to have the colors. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. And that's okay. I think that's it, you guys. I think so. This was a smidge longer, but I actually did cut off quite a bit of time from whatever I recorded last night. Because it did end up being shorter. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for dealing with my grief and a little bit of wet eyeballs. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I do think that I figured out it works best for me. I'm not going to be able to ever be a monogamous knitter. I like having a few things going. And this last couple of weeks, I found it really, really nice to have a garment, socks, and a blanket going. So I think that that's the trio that I'm going to try to keep going. Some kind of garment, some kind of socks, and some kind of blanket. My jelly roll obviously is going to be going forever and ever, but I am going to rip out that Bradley Afghan and maybe even start on that today. We'll see. I don't know if I have a hook size actually for that, because that is, the pattern calls for an N. I used an N, and I don't know if I have anything bigger than that. I'll have to look. I might have to go to the store today. So a blanket, a garment, and socks. I think that's what I'm going to try to keep going at all times. I think that'll work for me. All right. Well, I don't know. That's it really. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get going and get on with my day. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you're making something super fun. Please share below if you are. I love, love, love seeing, hearing, reading what everybody's doing. And all the information from this will, of course, be below. And until next time, have a great one.